Hi, and welcome to Across the Desk. Well, the election's over. We know who won in some areas, we know who didn't in others. And we might still be counting for other races and don't know. But that's not what I'm going to talk about this week. Since the election's over, we can put that behind us and we can focus on other things like what's going on with Oklahoma County and their commissioners. Millions, tens of millions of COVID money into the jail trust, then back out of the jail trust, then into some account that's not going to do anything. But even more exciting than that, we're coming up to the end of season 2 for Across the Desk with Kit Fairchild. And every season, I kind of want to grow a little. I want to do something new, add something. So we're going to try something here right at the end of the season that we might pull off more as we go along. And Across the Desk, for the first time ever, has its very own independent field correspondent. And what we have is a guy that's really been on this downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma County commissioners and their money, and that's Sean Cummings. And he's done a special report for Across the Desk with Kit Fairchild, and we're going to show it to you right now.
Thanks, Kit. Outside the Oklahoma County Courthouse, and County Commissioner 1, 2, and 3 in Oklahoma City, there has been more drama inside this courthouse than I have seen anywhere. In a place known as the Horseshoe is where all the drama goes down. We have arguments over ICE. We have arguments over what we're going to do with the jail. We have arguments over money that was taken, designed for in-need Oklahomans that was giving to the Oklahoma County Jail. All of these things seem to come to one person, which is Kevin Calvey. And Kevin Calvey is commissioner for District 3. We have learned that Kevin Calvey did pre-planning and pre-staging for removing this $40 million in total from the CARES Act funds and essentially transferring it to the jail trust. If you're not up on this story, it's actually really fascinating. So in a 45-second decision, he and Brian Mon, in a 2-to-1 decision, decided to transfer this money. But through emails, we found out that it was well thought out of beforehand. Now, the questions on the legality of that is all still playing itself out. The money is now, weirdly enough, tied up with Kevin Calvey's signature and being passed through to actually get the money to go to the jail. So not only did he do this weird vote to get the money through, now he's held on to it. But the thing is, this money has to be spent by December 31st in order to not have to send it back to the federal government. The whole story is just bizarre, and then you throw into this clamoring deal of him wanting to keep ICE in the county jail. And this has been a back and forth fight between him and other commissioners and, of course, protesters this whole time. Calvey, I'm sure, is concerned that Brian Mon could lose his commissioner's race, which would take his 2-to-1 majority and drop it down to him versus the other 2 commissioners. So he's trying to push through every single thing he can. So the most exciting thing in politics in Oklahoma, at the Horseshoe, probably one of the strangest things down here, was Commissioner Calvey launching a lawsuit against the jail trust to force them to keep ICE in the jail. Protesters were there and everything else, but this one is really unique because it's going to cost another $50,000 possibly in legal fees to defend this action. So we have 5 lawyers essentially on the jail trust. Now we have one of those lawyers suing the 5 lawyers, and then they had to hire outside counsel. You can see why not very many things are actually getting done by the jail trust. And this jail trust, brought on for transparency and better money management, has done neither. They're using CARES money to spend on items that have been problems since 1997, documentable problems since 1997. On top of it, we have the $34 million that has gone missing. So everything they were trying to accomplish doesn't seem to be happening. But I have to be honest, can you be surprised when there's 5 lawyers there at the Horseshoe? Back to you, Kit. Sean Cummings, downtown Oklahoma City.
Wow, Sean. That was some really interesting information that you just gave us. And it's even more kookier and clownier than I had imagined once we realized that they took out the 25 million of the jail trust fund, set it in an account, and are just really just going to leave it there because they're too scared to do anything about it. That was amazing. I really appreciate what you did for us there, Sean, being our independent field correspondent and giving us that wonderful report on a story that you've been following and have been a part of and in the middle of for quite some time. Thank you so much for giving us that insight into what's going on with the jail trust, Oklahoma County commissioners, and their crazy, quirky ideals, canceling meetings that they put together, suing themselves in court. That is pretty outlandish. And it's the kind of stuff that we really want to put on this show. And I really hope in season 3 we see more of Sean. And maybe I'll have him on the show and we can discuss more stuff about this. Who knows? Maybe I can get him here next show. That might be cool. That's going to be our last show, by the way. Next show, last show of season 2. Coming back in about a month or two, right? Probably before the inauguration for season 3. And hopefully we'll have some more stuff for you. And of course we will, because right when that happens with season 3, well, then you've got the next session of the state Congress coming up and all those crazy bills that they're going to want to put in, and we're going to have to do stories on that because there's going to be some nut ones in there. There's going to be nutty ones, just like the last time when the guy put in the one where we want to call, only milk, real milk. Almond milk is not milk and we can't label it as such. Crazy stuff like that. Banning advertisement of medical marijuana or any type. Just crazy stuff. You'll see it. We'll cover it. Anyway, thank you again, Sean, for that wonderful report you did from us from the field. This is Across the Desk with Kit Fairchild. We'll see you next week.